Hello!
Hostile dropship detected.
This is Mr. Axebane. Welcome back to the Drop Command demo.
Core online. Computer online. All systems.
Looks like my primary mission is to reach Waypoint Alpha.
Allied squad
I can press 0 to
destroyed.
get all of the mission objectives so you can see what's going to be the next objective and so on the right hand side of the screen there. I didn't realize that last video. So I did some practice. I practiced this game, like I played some more of the game after the last video. And I'm finally starting to get the hang of things a little bit. At least I can usually survive a lot longer than I was before.
Hostile forces engaged.
And you know, it came down to most of the stuff I figured it would be, but you really do have to pay attention to stuff like using the terrain to your advantage, trying to always zoom in. See, this is zoomed out. Trying to always zoom in when you're shooting your weapon, usually it's better. And keeping your distance. And trying to always be moving, and even better if you can, to strafe the enemy. And of course also using the right weapon for the job. Like, you really gotta use the right weapon for the job. And don't underestimate stuff like the ballistic cannon. At first it just seems like kind of a basic standard weapon. It just shoots a little red ball of energy, but it does a lot of freaking damage if you can land it. It's especially good for stationary targets. I don't have a ballistic cannon right now, but I almost wish that I did. Okay, this little fast tank is keeps kind of trying to ambush me, staying close to me. These guys are a little bit annoying to deal with, actually. These little unicycle tanks, they're so fast to get right in your face. There we go, I shot him. I got him. Alright, so I gotta get to Waypoint Alpha. Where is Waypoint Alpha? So at the top of the screen is the best way. The compass at the very top, you see it tracks enemies and objectives. It's the best way usually to figure out where the next objective is.
Forces engaged.
So I gotta get to Waypoint Alpha, and there's a lot of enemies, but I have a lot of friendlies in this battle, and I'm doing a random battle here. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of enemies. This weapon I'm using here seems to be fairly high damage, but slow projectile. Okay, it's getting a little close for comfort. Okay, I probably shouldn't have. Oh, I'm using. I'm gotta manage my heat better. I'm about to burn myself up. Now that I'm getting better at switching weapons more frequently, so I can get more damage output, I'm also overheating my mechs more quickly. So which is actually kind of cool. It adds another, layer of strategy, because I wasn't having to deal with or manage my heat very much before, because I was just so slow to switch weapons, and because when you're waiting on one of your weapons to reload, it's a pretty good idea usually to switch to another weapon. Okay, my opponent's is taking critical damage. Another thing, oh, my mech overall is taking quite a bit of damage. Oh gosh.
Detected. Component destroyed.
That's one thing that panicked me a lot last time I was playing this, like in the last video. When I would hear critical damage detected, I would think, oh, I'm about to die. But actually it means one of your components is about to die. Or you might be about to die, but don't panic if you hear that necessarily. Which I was pretty low on overall health there too. Alright, so now I'm in a tank. And I got a ballistic cannon. Yeah, watch this. These are great for stationary targets, and you can use them against moving targets as well, as long as you kind of get used to leading your target. And of course I'm a tank, so I can strafe pretty nicely. If I move one direction and then rotate the mouse another direction, you can kind of see it if I do third person view. Can't zoom in when you're using third person view though, so most of the time I've been sticking to cockpit view. This tank does not have any kind of hover ability or jump jets, but most, over half the vehicles seem to have some kind of mobility tool. Getting shot by a little infantry guy here. You can try to run him over, but it doesn't seem to always kill him. Oh, I hit him in the chest with the laser. Oh, I lost the laser. Okay, that was destroyed. Okay, I lost the tank. Oh, I lost all the vehicles. Okay.
Allied squad destroyed.
That was pretty cool though. That was pretty cool. So I think I'm going to do another random battle, and then I'll do the campaign again. Here we go.
Detected.
Dropping into another battle. And this time I've got one of these
Online.
crazy little
Computer.
super fast
All
light
systems
mechs
operational.
that have a ability when you press spacebar while going forward, you can leap forward at great speeds. See, well, it's kind of hard to see it in the water there, but it's great for like hit and run tactics. The last time I had this type of mech, I also had some missiles, some unguided missiles, which was really nice. This time I've got some kind of lasers. I swapped out for the lasers. It had a flamer weapon, but this is a fast-moving vehicle. I wanted something a little different, so I got these lasers, infantry lasers, and this cannon here, or whatever it's called. So I'm gonna have to try to use my mobility. You see that leap forward? It's so nice. Probably leap backward too for that. Or maybe to the side. You can leap up. But yeah, if you're going forward and you leap with this vehicle, it's oh god, I don't want to get too close to that tank there. Yeah, it's really nice to be able to just kind of like leapfrog forward with this vehicle to avoid danger and stuff. Normally I don't want to be sitting still or moving slowly with too much any mech, but at times it is somewhat necessary to slow down a bit. I mean, it's like, maybe not necessary, but it's sometimes it is advantageous to slow down a little bit. Like if there's not too many enemies targeting you at the moment and you kind of need to finish off an enemy, you kind of have to get used to this, analyzing the situation and stuff. Like there, I was getting targeted by these turrets, and the thing I was about to attack wasn't focusing me, so it kind of didn't make sense. Instead, I'm gonna try to take down these turrets. And lasers are actually really nice. They got infinite ammo, and once you get used to aiming them, they can be pretty damaging. I wish I had a ballistic cannon for these. Maybe this will work too. Ballistic cannon is really nice for taking out turrets and stationary buildings and stuff. So I guess most buildings are stationary. Jesus Christ, I'm too close, way too close. You really want to keep your distance. Like I'm zoomed in, you know, right? So zoomed out, you can see like not that close, but like yeah, it's still close enough to be kind of dangerous.
Damage detected.
You want to set yourself up so that the enemy is likely to hit the hill when they're trying to shoot you, and to avoid. See, I'm hitting the hill too much with my own weapons. I want to get a better position. Maybe one where only one of the turrets can shoot at me at a time or something. Still not good. Oof.
Critical damage detected.
I can't get a good angle where I'm using the terrain to my advantage, but not getting screwed over by the terrain at the same time. Okay, I'm doing kind of badly, but I do like this vehicle though. I've used it before to great effect. But I had two different types of weapon systems. I didn't have these weapons with it, and I'm struggling a bit with this combination of weapons on this vehicle. There's a heavy armadillo tank with it. All right, I want to get further back. I need to get to a safe place. In fact, I don't have much health left now, or armor or whatever.
Critical damage detected.
I can't really tell which one of these vehicles or which one of these weapons is better these turrets, but it's probably the laser. There are nice little weapon descriptions, I think, that were added in one of the recent updates that make it a little bit easier to, like, there's a nice little summary at the top of the weapon stats to kind of tell you what it's generally good for. I can't seem to, yeah, I couldn't seem to hit him. I couldn't seem to hit him. Alright, so I did kind of bad there, too. I swear, I am getting the hang of this game. Like, I can do a lot better in the campaign than I was before. And the campaign is really cool. Like, I played some after the last video, and one of the things I did is I got far enough to actually establish my first faction, and wow, that's a really exciting point of the game. When you reach that part, it's like, it feels so good. Oh, here we go. Check this thing out. Yeah, that's what we're gonna use. Get a ballistic pulse cannon, heavy unguided missiles, plasma cannon. There were a couple options, but I'm gonna go with this vehicle.
Hostile dropship detected.
So the developers have been releasing a new update,
Online.
like every day for the past 2 or 3 days, like little small updates, which is really cool. The game is currently in Steam Next Fest, and of course, like I said, this is a demo. This is a game that's still in development. Now, the only downside with the developers releasing updates each day is that I don't know if it's a bug that only I'm getting or if it's just because it's a demo, but the campaign save games seem to have not been compatible when they updated, so I had to start a new save game. But that's not a big deal. I mean, that's kind of normal for a demo, really. You don't. A lot of game demos aren't really meant to, save all your progress, especially when the demo gets updated.
Hostile forces engaged.
So when I switch to the campaign mode, I'll be starting fresh, and I might use the same options as last time, but then again, I probably won't. I'll probably try some new stuff. I think I'm still going to go with the medium mech. I really like the larger mechs and stuff. So here we go. I'm going to strafe, try to be a little bit smart, try to use all my weapons. There we go. See? There we go. Alright, and I need to keep an eye on the mini-map if possible. And let's see, this mech does not have any jump jets or anything, which makes sense. This is like kind of heavy mech type of thing. Alright, let's deal with this tank over here. Seems like it's got some pretty powerful weapons, this vehicle I'm using right now. Oh yeah! See, I'm starting to figure this game out. I'm starting to get the hang of it. It is very satisfying when you start to get the hang of it. Now, it did take me about 4 or 5 hours to start to feel like I could survive longer, and actually get the hang of things. Before that, I kept thinking, gosh, I'm really bad at this game, because I was just dying so much, so quickly sometimes. Which, lighter vehicles can be tricky to keep alive, but if you keep moving and use terrain to your advantage and manage your heat well and use the right weapon for the job, and if you're in a VTOL aircraft, if you keep strafing a lot, that seems to help to keep you alive longer. Once you start to do those things, at least for me, I found I could start to keep myself alive a lot longer, and even win large battles when there are lots of enemies on the other team. I'll say other team, but of course this is a single player game, and I'll be totally honest with you guys, I'm one of those people that I love a good multiplayer game, but most of the time I actually play single player games, and I prefer them a lot of the times, especially games that only have a single player mode. I know that's counter to, or it's just not a popular, there we go, look at that. Not a popular sentiment. Most gamers would say, well, if a game can have multiplayer, it's not too much trouble like it should. And I don't always agree with that, actually. I don't know, it's just because some of my favorite games of all time were purely single player. Now this game might have something coming later for multiplayer. I don't know, I have no idea what the long-term plans are, but right now it's single player only. And I don't mind, because a lot of my favorite games in the world were single player only, and especially for small teams and which is like, this game is like a 5-person development team or something. I feel like it can help them to focus more, you know, on just the single player experience and make that as great as possible. Of course, this would be amazing in like a multiplayer type of game, you know? But they would, you know, the developers might have to spread themselves thin a little bit to do that. I don't know. I have no idea what their plans are. I have no idea how difficult multiplayer is to do in Unity. I know Unity is kind of challenging. Like, people say that's really easy to use. Well, it used to be, but increasingly I hear from devs that Unity can be actually kind of a pain in the ass. So I don't, you know, who knows? I have no idea. And implementing multiplayer is always more difficult than most people realize. Like, so many people seem to think that it's like not that difficult, but like maybe it's easier than it was back in the day, because there's more publicly available, you know, resources and libraries and all whatever plugins and shit. But it's still not easy, you guys. Anyway, I'm going off on a rant on single player versus multiplayer. It's not really single player versus multiplayer. I mean, like I say, I do love multiplayer games. There's games that I play sometimes that are multiplayer only, and they just are phenomenal. But there is something to be said, I think, for a game that is single player focused, so that all the resources can go into the single player experience. Sometimes you got to get a little bit closer or slow down a little bit to take on these light mechs that can be so maneuverable. It can be tricky to hit them, but if you see, if I zoom out, I'm getting kind of close to this mech. I don't want to get much closer, especially when he's not paying attention to me that much. He's fighting one of my allied units. Think, here we go, shot his leg off.
Hostile forces engaged.
Man, I like this mech. Oh yeah. So I ran out of ammo on everything except for my plasma weapon, which is not a big deal actually. I think when I get to, you know, now that I've gotten better at lasers and plasma, it's kind of nice having a weapon that's got infinite ammo. My friendly armadillo tank has got a big old butt, and the big old butt's in the way. I can't. There we go. Got it. Look at that. Look at the bottom right. You can see my overall health. It's still like over half. Even though I'm not even. I'm like slowing down a lot, and but this mech seems to have so much freaking armor that I don't have to worry about being constantly trying to evade and stuff. Alright, I need to stop switching weapons at this point because the only thing I got is the plasma. Everything else, I used up all the ammo. Alright, gotta get to... Oh, I'm supposed to be defending a spearhead. Which objective is that? I guess Alpha. Well, it's in progress, so hopefully I'm doing it. I think I'm doing good. I'm taking down a lot of enemies, dude. You guys got to try this game out. This game is even better than I realized, okay? Now, don't get me wrong. I was having a lot of fun last episode. But I was having some trouble keeping myself alive a lot of the times. Now that I'm figuring out how to survive more, and I've gotten a little bit farther in the campaign, although I'm going to have to start a new one, I'm really like enjoying this game even more. Like, I'm like, damn, I could get addicted to this. Alright, where am I supposed to be going? Are there more enemies on the way? I'm defending. I think I'm doing a good job of it. Got a couple of allies here too with me. That tank there is a nice heavy mech. Or sorry, not tank. That mech there is a nice heavy mech. I've used that a few times. It's pretty sweet. It's slow. It's slow though. You gotta be careful. I mean, this one's slow too, but like apparently I don't have to be too careful because like they can't kill me, man. They just can't seem to take me down. Okay, I think there's just like one more enemy unit, but oh, there we go. Oh, it must be a little infantry guy. I can't figure out where it's at though. Like I guess it's to the southeast. Oh, you can see the map grids on the mini map too. And of course, okay, yeah, it's down here to the southeast. Just a little guy. He's gonna get obliterated. It's about there's like a heavy tank, medium tank, 2 heavy mechs is closing in on this little guy. Look at this guy. He's not giving up. He's gonna try his best. Look at that. He's like a sniper. He's not even like a heavy. Dude, you are gonna die so bad, man. I feel bad for you almost. Hello, dude. I respect it. I respect it. But you gotta die.
Mission objective.
Boom. That's all I had to do was take out that last. See, look at that. Sometimes I even have successful missions.
Extraction initiated.
I'm finally getting the hang of this game, and holy shit, this game is good. And it's only a demo. I mean, apparently they're aiming to try to release it in the 3rd quarter of this year. So that's that's only what 3 or 4 months away. Now that's an ideal. That's what the store page says, but it could take longer. That's how these things go sometimes. But even if it does, that's not a big deal. Alright, so I'm going to play the campaign a bit now. I'm going to have to start a new campaign, but that's no problem. I'll skip over some of the initial missions, probably, since you've already seen that. But I'll show you the starting of the campaign, then I'll do those missions, and then I'll resume recording once I basically have reached the point that I reached last episode. Mina Koem. That's kind of a cool name. Bakal. Dude, I gotta be Bakal. I mean, come on, dude. Sounds amazing. Give me some purple hair or something, too. Purple is my favorite color, actually. I don't know if Bakal would have purple hair. Maybe, I'm not sure. Maybe. Oh, check out that's Bakal, isn't it? I like that. Look at that hairstyle. That's actually really cool. Dude, it's like a wizard. Bakal the wizard. Yeah, that's what I want. Alright. Now, last time I did Aristocrat Mercenary with warehouses, I think, or whatever. Something like that. This time, we might do something different. Let's try merchant. Let's get cheaper recruitment. That sounds pretty sweet, actually. Yeah, last time I did mercenary, which is increased firepower, but this time I tend to overheat a lot now that I've gotten used to switching weapons frequently and firing a lot. So I'm gonna take racer, which has a faster speed and I guess more cooling, so a little bit less heat. And then probably gonna go with mech pilot. I've been enjoying some VTOL gameplay now that I've got better at the VTOL. It's pretty sweet. If you're constantly strafing with the VTOL, man, sometimes you feel pretty powerful. Like it can be hard for them to take you down. But I think we'll go with mech pilot, and I really do like the bigger, slower mechs. The light mech's cool. I've had some success with that too, but gosh, it's hard to resist the slower moving, bigger mech. So I'm gonna go with the Medusa again. And last time I did the warehouse. I think to mix it up, this time I'll do the factory. Alright, so I'm going to go through a few missions here and then I'll be back.
Mission objective achieved. Arriving at waypoint. Primary objectives completed. Mission successful. Extraction initiated. Objectives completed. Mission successful. Extraction initiated.
did it. Mission success. So the leader of the faction and the name of the faction are different because, of course, I started a new game. That's part of the procedural generation. I managed to assassinate Amelie Quint of Belisarius, leader of the Court of Faith. The political party Court of Faith was founded by Sokkev. The recent loss of their leader has harmed their cause. The current military might of this faction is 3,500 CV. It is the primary political faction on Moon Belisarius. That's actually pretty cool. The bio changed to reflect the fact that I took down their leader. That's pretty cool, actually. Anyway, so I am now at the point where I was on the previous video when I was playing the campaign. Although now I have slightly different units. In that last battle, I had a heavy mech along with me. That cost. The only thing I was able to afford was just an ally in a heavy mech. The other option would have been to buy a couple of these super lightweight little scout tanks, but I wanted a tougher ally that could maybe live a little bit longer, and they did really well. And I was able to do pretty well that battle too. Nobody got injured or anything, I think, and we got I can train my pilot now that hell yeah. Almost a little bit of an RPG element to it. I guess it's part of the strategy game side of it, you could say. So I can get +1 metal to reduce damage taken, +1 grit to increase my firepower, +1 aim to increase my firing rate, and +1 handling for speed and cooling. So this is similar to the first level that you pick when you're creating your faction or starting a new campaign, I should say. So what do I want? I guess I'm gonna go with grit to get more firepower. Alright, and I can't afford any more units except, well, no, I can't afford this even, so I can't really afford any additional units yet. The next mission is the Annex Planet mission, so if I can succeed in this mission, I'll take over the moon of Belisarius, and I will have I'll have my own faction. I'll be able to choose the faction symbol and the faction color, and even the skin or the texture that my allies will have when I'm in battles and stuff. So let's see if I can do this on the first try. I gotta seize the capital at Belisarius. We are ready to annex this world. The Court of Faith forces are routing, and popular support is in our favor. Here we go. Probably going to keep the weapons I've already got. I've been enjoying these quite a bit, actually. The ballistic cannon, the laser, and the unguided missiles.
Completed. Hostile dropship detected.
Now this can be a little bit
Core
larger of a battle. I'll be facing multiple enemies. I need to initially
systems operational.
get a handle on who's nearby. Okay, there's a couple enemies over there. Let me get down here where I've got, yeah, kind of down in this little canyon. Not really a canyon, but let me get on the other side of this hill here. Be all tactical. Alright, we got these little scout tanks to deal with. We got one of them at least. They are a little bit annoying because they are so fast to get right in your face. I think I already mentioned that earlier in this episode, but it's very true. Luckily, they don't have hardly any armor. There we go. There we go. Now we got this tank over here to deal with, this other close enemy. There's a turret back there behind him, but we'll probably deal with the tank first. It's like a hover tank. There we go, not too bad, not too bad. Taking a little bit of damage, but that's it so far. I don't know how much health my ally has over here. They're probably a little bit beat up. Oh, I can check, actually. I can target them and see, oh, they're not about the same position I'm in. Okay, now we need to get to Waypoint Alpha without dying. And as you can see, it's hard to, if you just look at the landscape, it can be hard to find your objective. In this case, it's actually this big Capitol building here, obviously, right? If you're having trouble finding your objective, and you don't see it on the minimap, in this case I'm so close it's on the minimap as well, but you can look at the top of the screen, like I mentioned earlier in this episode. It is very important though, and see where that waypoint is. So alpha waypoint is basically
Arriving at
right here,
waypoint.
like this big old Capitol building. I'm trying to take this over so we can make it ours. Start a faction here. Oh my god, let's not do that. Let's let me get a better position.
Critical damage detected.
Let's see if I go over here. Yeah, we'll go over here and then we'll circle around a bit. Use the ballistic cannons. This is excellent for taking down turrets, buildings. I'm pretty far away though. You can see. Oh gosh, he's nailing me with the missiles though. But you do want to keep your distance whenever possible. I gotta remember, to use my jump ability a lot more often. That's one of the things that's one of the mistakes I was making in the last video. I was not really using mobility options that well a lot of the time. Alright, let's see how my allies doing. They're doing even better than me. They got more health. That's good, that's good. Okay, let's deal with this little scout tank here. Not sure what the best weapon would be. Probably the missiles. God, it's behind me now. Yeah, that almost took him down. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, there we go. Once you start to get the hang of it, this game will be like super good, man. I'm like, eventually someday I'll try the higher difficulties too, maybe once I'm brave enough. Oh, another scout tank. Oh, no, 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 no! Don't get in my face. I can't aim at you if you get too close. Come on, come on, come on, you little son of a... You futuristic unicycle. This dude's crazy to go out and battle and ride this thing, man. I would never be confident. Oh my god! I would never be confident enough to do that. I lost the mech. Alright, that's alright, that's alright. Luckily I can just take over my ally, who has a even bigger mech. Alright, where the hell? Alright, I need to deal with that turret here in a second, don't I? That turret's kind of scaring me a little bit. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, buddy, come on. You're going down, you're going down. Oh, you son of a bitch. Look at that little guy. There we go. Alright, now I gotta take care of that freaking turret. It's just mauling me. I don't have a ballistic cannon, but this plasma should do a nice job too. If I can get a better angle. Or maybe I'll just use the missiles. Ooh, I miss having the jump pack. I can't jump. But in return, I have tons of armor. Oh, I thought I would get him with that. Come on, come on. Come on. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Almost done it. I've just got a few more units to take down, and then I'll take over this moon. Come on.
Critical damage detected.
Come on.
Critical damage detected.
Just fire all the weapons. Pull out all the stops. I didn't even overheat doing that. That was fucking sweet. Get a little bit of cinematic camera. Just for the hell of it. I almost look like a Space Marine dreadnought. Oh, I love this thing. Oh, brother. I love the old school, goofy ass Space Marine dreadnought. It's one of my favorite fucking things ever, man. I don't like the new one that much. I don't know. I mean, it's alright. It looks kind of cool, but it just doesn't look. I don't know. It just doesn't look as good as the old school, stumpy-legged monstrosity. Now I just gotta take down some last bit of infantry here. There might be another one around here. Yeah, I think so. And then this moon is ours. Finally, my parents will be proud of me. Oh, you got your own faction now. That's so nice. We're so happy for you. Thanks, Ma. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty nice. You got a cool flag. This is probably the last one here. Surrender or die. Your programming will not allow you to surrender. That's a trick question. Not a question. Sorry, I'm out of missiles, but I got plasma, and this thing's gonna do it. This thing's totally gonna do it. Oh, you are so dead, dude.
Primary objective.
There it is.
Mission successful.
Mission success on the first try. Okay, so I'm about to found my own faction and take over this damn moon. Might as well go ahead and exit. And there it is. Planet annexed. With control of the planet secured, it is time to look to the future. Forging a star-spanning empire begins now. Will your fledgling faction rise to great glory or fall into the darkest corners of history? Look at that, I got out unscathed too. That is perfect. Creating a new faction starts with a name. Enter your faction name below. I'm going to use one of the randomly generated ones because there's a lot of cool ones in here. Try Bakal of Fervor. That's almost too esoteric. The Foss of Belisarius. Citizenship of Time. That's even more esoteric. Imperium of Solitude. Too depressing. Fervent Horde of Bakal. Okay, I like that. I don't know why, but I like that. We are the Fervent Horde of Bakal. Alright, so I get to choose the skin, or the camo, whatever you want to call it, for my friendly units. I think I'm going to go with purple, this purple design here, called Ocean Panel. So as you play more missions, you unlock more. Oh my god, there's a lot of them. You can unlock more of these just for fun. I mean, this obviously no tactical advantage or anything. Just a fun little unlockable thing. And then I'm going to choose purple for the faction color, because it's my favorite color. And then I'm probably going to go with this spider icon. I don't know, I just kind of like it, and spiders are cool. Although this one's kind of neat too, the Crown of Oro. What would fit the Empire better? I guess either one. I'll go with the Crown of Oro, it's pretty cool. There we go. Moon Belisarius in the Centauria system has been annexed and is now fully under our control. Our maintenance capacity has increased by 500. The Court of Faith political faction has been subjugated. Infrastructure not under our control has been raised. That's pretty brutal, man. That's pretty brutal. What are you gonna do, though? You know, we gotta have this moon. This is my moon. Dunny Marsden is now a regular pilot. Oh, like instead of a cadet, so we got a promotion for our ally. Super awesome. Bakal is now a regular pilot. Oh, I also apparently have been promoted. So there we go, folks. I think that's a great time to finish this episode. Next episode, you're gonna be able to see all this cool stuff here. Look at this. There's missions you can go through. The first one the only one you can do is establish beachhead, of course, right? You gotta drop in and try to establish some kind of a presence on the planet or moon before you can do other types of missions. There's planetary diplomacy. I have no clue what that does or how that even works. Apparently, I can spend money to increase planet stability, and before the next mission, I could purchase one light tank. I don't know if I'll do that. Anyway, so that's gonna be it. That's it for this episode of Drop Command Demo. You gotta check this game out. This game has a lot of promise. I love strategy games. I love mech games and action games, and this is basically a really nice combination of an action game and a strategy game. And if you like mechs, you gotta check it out. You gotta check this game out. I'll put a link in the description once again, so you can take a look. The game is currently only a demo. Hopefully they'll keep the demo up after Steam Next Fest. I really hope so. They had it up before the Next Fest apparently, so hopefully that'll happen. Because I want to keep playing the demo. I basically want to keep playing the demo until I've exhausted it, pretty much, and then when the full game comes out, there's like a 99% chance I'm going to buy that thing. Even if it's like 20 bucks, I'm going to have to get it because the replayability on this is going to be crazy. There's so much procedural generation. I mean, the types of units you can recruit is different each time. I think even the weapons that are on them are different. The pilots, of course, are different. There's not just their names, but their stats. The faction you fight. Apparently, in the full version, you'll also start in a different solar system each time. But in the demo, you always start in Centauria. Anyway, thank you for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give the video a like. Maybe subscribe if you really enjoyed this. I play a lot of indie games, especially games by small teams and solo devs. It's kind of the thing I enjoy the most these days when it comes to video games, usually. That's it, folks. As always, have a great day.